Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
Roll the intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Bitcade. But joining me is not David. David is he has prior plans and had to go and do something. But don't worry, we're getting an episode out there. We've been on hiatus of Bitcade for a while, so we're gonna get you an episode. Joining me is
Oh, me?
yeah.
I'm Jamison.
Yeah. You're not going to go by JMO like you did in your in PT 3600 episode?
That's a nickname for a different series.
Oh, okay. All right. Go check out PT 3600.
This is gonna be Jamal.
Wow.
Jamal.
All right. Let's see if you remember that by the end of the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode we are going to be talking about conventions. We're also going to be talking about DLC, and we're also going to talk about future of video games. I thought you were going to make a fart sound. I was like, I didn't know what you were doing there. So for audio listeners, you guys can also watch the video version of this video, this podcast. That's what it is. And
We only charge $5 an episode.
not yet, but but we will. We're gonna do this episode, and we're gonna have a good time.
Let's get her done.
All right, so let's talk about conventions. You have been to 2 of them.
Yes, I have.
PAX West. I have been to PAX West as well, but I've gone to, 2012, 2013, 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Six PAXs.
I have been to PAX West 2016 and 2018.
17.
Yeah.
You didn't go this year.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
16 and 17. But yeah, I thought that, you know what, I don't get to talk about conventions when David's here because he's not been to one. But you have. You have been to some video game conventions. So I guess we'll just talk about some of the ones that we feel like are like moments that are great at PAX. So let's talk about your first time you went to PAX. Let's do that. So I guess it's mainly going to be about PAX, but hey, you know what? Whatever. We'll kind of make it a broader thing that most video game conventions are going to have this anyway.
Oh yeah.
But if you've ever gone to a PAX, you'll understand as well. So let's talk about your first PAX. How did that go about?
Well, I knew to bring a nose plug for the next one, for the one after that, because it was very stinky.
Yeah.
People have very horrible BO.
But then they gave out deodorant next year.
Yeah,
they didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
But that was kind of
yeah.
interesting.
My first year, they had a giant box with tiny little traveling Old Spice. It was swagger. It was Old Spice swagger. People did not use it.
It's not as bad. It's not bad. It was worse in 2012. I feel like it gets better throughout the year. Throughout the years of it.
They should just have showers there so that people can just
Then people
shower.
wouldn't leave.
Well, then they just don't serve food.
Yeah, I guess that's true. See, the thing is that they used to the PAX used to be 24 hours. They did it for like a whole weekend, and they wouldn't. It would be 24 hours, and people wouldn't go home. So then it really stank, and so they stopped doing that, and then eventually that's why the convention hall closes at like 7, and then everyone has to go home.
Yeah.
You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the heck out of here, kind of thing. But yeah, I think so. The thing about the first year you only went 2 days.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about PAX. PAX traditionally is 3 days, except for PAX West. PAX West is 4 days. And so since we are in Washington, we go to PAX West, which is originally PAX Prime. I got to go the last year for PAX Prime, which was in 2012, and then they eventually changed it. But it was, I think it was 2012. Maybe it's 2013. I don't know. But yeah, it's from kind of lost my point of what I was trying to say because I went and focused back on PAX. But the thing about conventions is like it's just kind of cool because one of the mottos that PAX has is like, "Come play video games with the family like you haven't met yet," kind of thing. And it's kind of cool because it is that environment of really anyone is approachable, like whether they're at the booths or just you're standing in line with some random person. You're there for the same thing. And like
Yeah.
you're there to experience the video games that like you love. So if you're standing in line for Resident Evil 2, like more than likely that person standing next to you wants to play Resident Evil. So you probably have some sort of common interest in with that person. It's kind of cool. Like we were I don't know if we ever did this when you went, but this year Ashton and I, when we were standing in line, we played Heads Up, and
Oh.
it was just him and I, and then it kind of like spread. You know that like Disneyland like
Yeah, that happened
virus
a lot
that
while we were
happens.
down there.
Yeah, because once someone brings it out, then other people start seeing, and they're like, "Oh, it's that
Yeah.
Heads Up game," and then they start playing it. It's just a way to pass time, because especially
Yeah.
when you're like waiting in line, you
Yeah.
can play your Switch or
I
whatever.
remember we did that while we were in the Destiny line, and when we were waiting to get inside one morning with
Mhm.
Ashton. Yeah, I remember that.
So let's talk with you, Jamison. What are some, if you were to give 3 highlights from the 2 years that you've been? Let's do it this way. I'll give 3 highlights and you give 3 highlights. Okay. So
Okay.
then you go one, I'll go one, you go one.
Now,
I'll go
for the
one.
people at home that don't know what PAX stands for, do you want to?
You can say it if you know. Do you know it?
It's like Penny Arcade
Expo.
Annual. Yeah.
Expo.
The
Yeah.
thing that doesn't make sense is that Expo starts with an E.
Yeah, that's the abbreviation is X. Oh, it's
Huh.
in every convention. Like anything that has Expo is usually an X. Like PSX, like PlayStation Conference, but then they call it a conference, so it's weird. It just kind of makes it 3 letters kind of
Yeah.
thing. So, but yeah.
Do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Do you need time?
I've got one.
Okay, go ahead.
So in 2017, it was Ashton, Ryan, and I, and we were all at BYOC. And we were all gaming, having a fun time. And I had to go to the potty.
Oh, you're gonna tell it.
Yeah.
You have said this story before, but this does have to do with PAX, so I'll allow it.
I went to the bathroom, and I was in the stall, minding my own business. And I hear this guy, probably about all the way down the bathroom. And then he screams at the top of his lungs, "No back talk."
Yeah, that's definitely a good.
And I came back to BYOC,
Which
and
is bring your own computer.
yeah.
So that's at PAX. But anyway.
And I told them about it, and that was probably one of my favorite PAX memories.
Yeah,
That was
because
pretty funny.
the thing is that kind of stuff just kind of puts an icing on the cake of the kind of comedy and sense of humor that everyone at PAX has. Of like, they are not afraid to be like a little bit extra. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. And like, and sometimes it gets a little too much, but sometimes people know exactly what they're doing, and it can be pretty funny. I think one of my favorite memories is, I have no particular order of what my favorite memories are. Was when we went to the closing ceremony for the first time. I
yeah.
never got to do that before, and that was pretty cool. And it was your first PAX. It was in 2016, and I think it was. Oh man, what was the Omegathon for that one?
It was It was
Super Mario World.
I think it was
with on a Game Genie.
I think it was like it wasn't Donkey Kong was 2017. 2016 was the
I think it was Mario.
it was Mario something.
Yeah,
But
I think it was Super Mario 3 or something like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was pretty cool to see that for the first time, because I've gone to previous PAXs, but just time and based on the people that I was with, they just didn't really want to do it, and so it was kind of cool to like finally get to go and see it, and yeah, that was a cool
Yeah, 'cause
memory.
you don't want to be there and there's that one guy that just wants to go sleep in a car or anything.
Yeah.
You want to have it be a
Yeah,
good time.
yeah, you want to try and get the fullest of what you can do,
Yeah.
and I think it was great. Like the fireworks, not fireworks, but the confetti that popped out at the very end, and the win. It makes you feel like something significant has really happened. You also get to see Mike and Jerry, the creators of Penny Arcade.
Those
so
are funny.
they are really funny. Their D&D is hilarious. If you ever get a chance, you get the time after this podcast, go check out the D&D that Penny Arcade plays. It goes back all the way to like 2009 or something, maybe even before that, because there was podcasts before it. But 2009, I think, is when they started doing the video, and they started doing it at PAX, and it's hilarious. I've never been able to see it live, but I watch it usually. Now I just watch it live streamed when it's on Twitch when it's happening, because it's usually pretty late. But anyway, what's your other memory you want to talk about? Do you need a little bit more time?
Thing is, I wasn't really thinking.
Yeah, you were listening to what I was saying. Yeah, that's fine.
There was I guess it doesn't really involve PAX, but
is it during PAX?
It was during PAX. It was a place that we went to eat, but
what is that?
I can't.
Well, let's talk about that. That's kind of the thing. Here's some places that you can probably kind of eat at too.
I remember it was us three, like you, me, and maybe it was Kai that was with us.
So it was 2016.
We walked down that one long stretch of road.
I think it's Pike.
I know it was like kind of like a barbecue-y burger kind of place.
Was that
I want to say Johnny Rockets, but I know.
Was that Shake Shack or something like that?
I think it was.
Yeah. Whatever it's called.
It was like a guitar musical.
Oh,
thing.
that's Hard Rock Cafe.
That's what. Yeah, that place is.
Okay. All right. I mean, to each their own.
I don't remember what I got, but I know
you got a burger.
Good.
I think.
I know it was a burger, but for some reason I don't think it was like a sriracha kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty good place.
Yeah, food is kind of something you got to think about when you're at PAX, because you got to think about, or any convention, you have to think about what are you going to eat. Sometimes the convention center provides food, which is okay. But sometimes you can find some golden gems. Hard Rock Cafe is a pretty good one, but it's also pretty well known. There was a few that we tried, that pizza place that one time.
Oh my gosh.
Romeo's. Shout out to Romeo's. I don't even care if they don't see this video. Shout out to Romeo's, because Romeo's is amazingly good pizza.
I'm not saying oh my gosh because of the restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm just saying oh my gosh.
So that's gonna be my second look, we're talking about food. We'll go into food. There's a pizza place in Seattle that they have, and it's like it used to be kind of a little bit away from the convention center. They closed that down.
Yeah.
And they got a new building that's like a little bit closer.
Yeah,
like,
didn't you guys find that out the hard way?
Yeah, we thought they closed down for good, but their Google thing hadn't updated because they just reopened for PAX. And yeah, we got to have it. They have this like oh man, the pizza they had, it's like traditional Greek style pizza, which is interesting. And they had like a tomato, which I'm not a fan of having solid like tomatoes on my pizza, but it was pretty darn good.
I
like
cubed tomatoes on my pizza.
They had like 3 different types of cheeses, and I think one of them was like a goat cheese, like a goat Greek cheese, really creamy. And then they had they had meat that was sliced from a kebab, and they put that on top of it too.
Oh.
And it was top. It was so freaking good. The crust is always cooked really well. It's by far my like go-to place now. Is
Very
Romeo's.
interesting. We gotta try that out.
Yeah.
For 2019.
Do you have a third memory?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
And this, wow. I was gonna talk about the Primal Target cards.
Okay.
The
You're going to out us here? No, it's fine.
I'm trying to remember.
We didn't do it this year. We didn't do it this year.
I'm trying to remember the name of the cards.
The business cards?
Yeah, the business cards. Okay. Some of the funny moments. So what we were doing.
This was in 2017.
Is that we were trying to spread the word of Primal Target by sneaking business cards into people's bags. And
this was Ashton's idea, might I add.
One of the funnier ones that I saw was that we were on the escalator, and Ashton saw a girl that had a big bag on her shoulder, and he had it like a ninja star, and he just flicked it, and it went into the bag. And then I think she ended up turning around. He just went.
Yeah. There were some moments we got almost caught. I'm not gonna count this as my third memory, but there was the when you and I were
Oh,
at the Intel booth.
yeah, the Intel, the
And
Overwatch stuff.
yeah, and this guy was standing
Yeah.
next to Jamison, and so he had his bag open, and I was like, I was gonna just drop it down, but I was trying to play it way too cool, and I dropped it in there, and as soon as because I was like, I look over to Jameson and I'm trying to play it off of like, hey, yeah, oh man, he didn't. He did a good job as Roadhog, and the guy turns around as I'm dropping it in, and it goes in his bag, and I'm like this, and I look over to Jameson, and I'm like, yeah, so it's a great time. And I'm like, and then the guy just goes, and then he turns back around, and I'm like, okay.
Wait, when about the Ash? Did you see him do it?
Yeah, I saw him like
That
flick it, and
she
then
was
landed in there.
really far
She
away.
she was probably a good
5
like
steps maybe.
I thought she was probably about 10 feet away from him
Yeah.
when he flicked it in there. It was like pure chance
with
of
the space
I don't know
about
how it
that
happened.
big.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it.
But yeah, that Intel one was pretty funny.
Yeah, my third memory, my final memory I would like to highlight is the first PAX I went to it had its ups and its downs, but it was also the one that was the first time the only one that my dad went to. And that was pretty cool to like see him experience games of my time, and then also they had the arcade. What was it? There's like a Seattle show that focuses on just retro like arcade video games.
Oh, he probably liked that a lot.
And so they had a room. They bought out a room for PAX 12, and he was in there for like hours. He was playing like Dragon's Lair. He was playing yeah, I think that's what it was. And then like he's playing all these different like arcade games that he used to spend so much money on at the mall, but now it was all free play. So he was just like playing them,
yeah,
and I left and then came back and he was still playing those, and that was really cool to see like my dad experience the games that he grew up and loved. And I don't know, that's part of the reason why I love video games so much is keeping it into the topic of conventions. It is that moment of this is what brings us all together is the video games, and you can be any race or creed, you can be of any age, you can be of any orientation, and it brings us all together, and we're gamers. Like we play video games together, and you can just meet some really cool people that you might not ever see again, but you definitely can like experience this thing together, and you will always have memories of that one time, and it only happens once. Like once PAX is over, it never happens like the same way again. Like every year has its like stories and set paths and whatnot, and you don't even know what you're gonna do when you get there.
No.
But yeah, it's what's been maybe like a favorite game that you played there? Do you have a favorite game you played there? I'm trying to think of one too. I'm like, there's a couple. Did all three of us play one?
We did H1Z1.
We did do that one. We did do when they were doing King of the Hill.
Yeah. There was another I have it on my iPad, but I can't remember the name. There's a few games that we did that all together. The only one that I probably only liked was probably H1Z1, mostly because on all the other games I just got bad rolls, and I just
yeah. It's because that's kind of crazy. It's like you also will be playing video games that you probably will never play.
No.
But
Cuphead was pretty fun.
Cuphead was really fun. We got to play that together last PAX. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's just been so many different games. A lot of indie titles are really fun to play. Like you'll experience some games that have this weird, unique. I remember one year, I think it was PAX 2015, and Kent and I played this turn-based basketball game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was at the Mega Indie booth, and it was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, a turn-based basketball game. So yeah, there's just really unique games that you can play, and
I think that actually the first game that I've ever played at PAX, I think, was Minecraft VR. Remember that in 2016?
Yeah.
I think that was probably the first game that I played at
That was the first time I used VR.
Yeah, same.
Was at PAX. Luckily, that was at the beginning of the day, so the VR system's really clean. So I was glad that we did
no
that.
kidding.
But yeah, there's some crazy stuff. Sometimes we get like the excess E3 stuff, but it's still pretty cool because then it's like $300 cheaper to go to PAX than it is to go to E3.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? We might try to go to E3 one of these years. I don't know. It's in Los Angeles.
Didn't one of you guys want to go to TwitchCon?
Yeah, it was a while, but now we're on Mixer, so we kind of just ditched them. But how about this? We'll end this conversation. We'll end this part off with what conventions we'll get to. Okay, what conventions would you like to go to? I'll start it off. I'll let you think about it. I think I would love to go to PAX Australia. PAX Australia, A, it's in Australia, and B,
Go to the Outback.
yeah, it's just like you get to do other stuff too. Like it's one of the other things. I know a lot of people will probably say that about Seattle as well, but there isn't very much stuff up here. But yeah, I think I'd want to go to PAX Australia, just experience that like whole new culture as well as a video game convention. Because then it's like it's less intimidating. Like you're going to an event that everyone's gonna like love the same thing.
Yeah.
Plus, then you can like kind of venture out and do whatever you need to do. What about you, man?
Honestly, I don't really know that many. Like,
Well, there's PAX East, there's PAX South, there's
we're only talking about
no,
PAX?
there's RTX,
So there's
there's
Minecon.
that's actually happening really soon. I think.
dedicated wham.
Yep, the dedicated web. I think they don't do those. They don't do them in certain locations anymore. I think they do these like meetups now, and then they just stream whatever they're gonna do, and then like
Yeah, I don't really know if I have a.
there's E3. There's
That would be pretty cool to do.
you want to go to E3?
That would be pretty cool.
Okay. What is it about E3 that kind of stands out to you?
Because everyone just talked to you about like all the
The press conferences
year.
and whatnot?
Yeah, yeah.
So you'd want to go to the press conferences.
Well, yeah.
See, I think the best combination is you go to E3, you try to get into the press conferences, and then at PAX you go and play them at PAX.
That'd be smart.
I think that's the combination.
That's also
right there.
like shit money, but
Yeah, that is a lot of money. I think the other convention, my second one, would be Gamescom, and that's in is it Germany or France? I don't know. Now I can't even remember now. But anyway, Gamescom is like the European version of E3, but open to the public. So it's like a combination of E3 and PAX, and then multiplied by like 5, because it's I think last year they had like 3,500 people, and then this year they opened it up to 5,000 people.
I couldn't do
or
that.
500,000 people, or something crazy. It was just some astronomical number. And now I'm pulling numbers out of my ass, so go look them up.
Be able to do that.
There's some crazy number, but it's a big venue. That's the thing. It's like the biggest venue one of the biggest venues that they have. So that's why it's kind of an interesting thing. But anyway, what about you? You'd also get to experience like a European country. So.
I've already been to Europe though.
Not to those places. They're not all the same. They're different countries.
Yeah, but
all right. But anyway, do you got another one? There's RTX.
I don't really know that many.
There's
cons.
PSX.
I don't know what that is.
PSX is PlayStation's conference.
Oh, screw PlayStation.
Isn't
there a Microsoft thing?
There is not a Microsoft. Well, there is one happening this year, which is kind of interesting. It's called like XO18. XO is their thing. I don't know what the heck XO means.
Well, Kiss Hug.
Yep. It's the Kiss Hug hosted by Xbox. That's what it is. Thank you, Jamison.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. That's happening in Mexico City this year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know when. So you'd want to go to a Microsoft conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like a Microsoft event.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they officially have one because it seems like they're trying to bring it back, but I'm not sure if this is actually something they're going to keep doing. It'd be cool if they do.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just call it Xbox Live. But then again, I guess they would be stuck with Xbox, but then you've already named your stuff that, so why would you not call it
Yeah.
that? Yeah, I'm trying to think of a third one. I think there's one called Tokyo Games Week. No, not week. Tokyo. It's like a game convention, over in Tokyo, and I think that would be really cool. Like to go
if
to
you
Japan.
can speak Japanese.
You'd be surprised on what countries can try and fit together English. I'm not.
Europe has really good English.
Yeah, because they teach it there. Well, also one of their countries is English, but usually other countries are pretty adaptive to like other languages.
Mm-hmm.
It's just America. We either have we don't even have French, and like they're only north of us, not north of us, but there's French Canadians.
We have French.
What I'm saying is like usually our signs are in English or Spanish. There's no French option. When you go to like Poland, there was English, Polish, German, French. Like there were 3 different languages on one sign just to tell you where to go.
Because I know my high school, we have German, we have Spanish.
Yeah, I understand like they teach it to you, but what I'm saying is in natural like streets and whatnot, you get 2 languages and that's it.
Yeah.
At most, and sometimes they don't even get Spanish in there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree.
Do you have a third one, or what would be like a dream one you would want to go to? Maybe there is one already existing. That's why I was. That's why. There's Rooster Teeth's conference with RTX.
I don't watch Rooster Teeth though.
That's in Austin. That's really hot.
Austin, Texas.
There's D23. Didn't even talk about that.
I don't know what that is.
D23 is Disney's podcast. Or
I
not
do.
podcast,
Yeah.
Convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Actually,
I think that'd be my sub 4th one as well. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, D23. Who knows? It's in Anaheim, so we might try to. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll be there in a few months.
Yeah, we'll see if not like I don't know when D23 is or when, but we might try to sneak down there. I don't know.
Well, 'cause I know there is a Disney Hall kind of thing that has a lot of the original like Disney things that Walt had worked on. But I'm getting off task now. But.
Yeah. So if you guys want us to go to any of those conferences, put in the comment section below which ones you think it would be cool for us to go to. And then also put ones that you want to go to, or you just do that one. Put in the comment section below which conferences you've been to and want to go to, and that will end that part. So we're moving on to the next topic. Next topic is DLC. Let's talk about DLC. This is your topic, so I'll let you kind of host this one. So what are we going to talk about in this one?
DLCs.
What like specifically, I guess.
Uh,
Or like what is it that you want to talk about that has specifically about DLC? Like our favorite ones, or like the ones that suck, or like what are we doing?
We can talk about our favorite ones, or like we can talk about like our favorite ones, like our top 3 favorite ones. I'll let you take your first.
Okay. Well, my first one that pops in my head is Undead Nightmare, which is Red Dead Redemption's Undead Nightmare, which was really awesome DLC because eventually it got so much that they made it. Sorry, we live next to a like
a
motorcycle
quad place.
Jeez. We'll cut this part. Okay, we're back. We like literally there's a motorcycle shop, like ATV motorcycle, like do the whole 9 yards. Anyway, Red Dead Redemption's Undead Nightmare was really awesome because it added this whole like they got crazy with it.
Yeah.
It was like you can find all of the horsemen's like the Death's horse and like the horsemen of the apocalypse, like those horses were in the game. There was also a really boss horse that was like rainbow flame.
Whoa.
And it was like this blue and red flame. I don't even know what it was, but it was that I had, and it was really cool.
That's dope.
But yeah, there was like so much. There was more story. There was like missions. They added a whole bunch of stuff. And I love how Rockstar can just get crazy with their DLC. And
yeah, they're still working on GTA.
Yeah, it's like, pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Never came out with that single-player DLC, though, which is kind of a bummer. But, hey, you know what? Whatever.
Oh, for the Trevor thing?
Yeah, that was the rumored thing. And then there was a whole bunch of different stuff. But anyway, Undead Nightmare is probably again. This is gonna be in no particular order because they're just gonna come to me. But that was some awesome DLC. What about you, man?
A DLC that I've been playing a lot lately is probably Destiny 2's Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
And
You got a little Kate statue with it.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. And a really sick ass emblem with Cade. Like,
You're actually wearing your
Oh,
Kate
yeah.
shirt. Oh wait, no, you're wearing your other shirt.
Uldren. Oh well.
Yeah.
But
Uldren's the bad person,
he's
right?
the bad guy.
Okay. That's a he
Yes.
in the trailer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the thing about Destiny is what they do is that they even did this in Destiny 1 is that they'll have their vanilla and then they'll have like a few tiny DLCs
It's fine.
and then they'll have a big DLC which is probably even more space than the actual base game itself was. And that changes the whole game intensely. Like how subclasses will work or just materials. It just changes everything in the game. So it kind of the base game is kind of just like a test run, and then their big DLC is almost their final product so that they can know what people are wanting and what people don't want because they want to make a good game.
So, do they like make the first two DLCs already in mind, and then by the time that third DLC, which is usually the big one,
Yeah.
is already like, oh, the first team is already like they now know what they want.
Yeah.
Like A and B were already gonna happen. And then
Yes.
C wasn't even started until A and B were finished, and then everyone has said, "Oh, we want all this stuff," and then in C they just drop all that.
That's about
Because that's what
they
happened
do.
with like Taken King, right?
um
Taken King was the big DLC last time.
yes. The thing is that I don't think see I
In
can't, I don't-
Destiny
I don't
1.
want to say this cuz I don't know if it's right, but I don't know how many DLCs came out before the Taken King.
I think it was.
I know there
one or
was a lot
two.
after that. I think there was one and then the Taken King, but I really don't know. I can't say anything about that.
Mm.
But Destiny 1 was the same thing. That it was the vanilla of the game. And for those people who don't know, vanilla is like just base, just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the Taken King was pretty much just a facelift. It just changed everything of the layout of the game. And I think Forsaken, they're getting there. I know they still have a ways to go, but they're getting there. But, yeah, they're slowly but surely they're getting there.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of my second DLC thing.
Well, we can move on to our worst DLCs
worst DLC.
because I've already.
Oh,
got
okay,
one.
I got one.
I've got one.
GTA's Lost in the Damned. I
Aw.
hated.
Okay.
What?
No, okay.
That's not a good.
I-
GTA 4's Lost in the Dam was a stupid DLC. Because there were two DLCs that came out in GTA 4. There was Ballad of Gay Tony, which was great. Ballad of Gay Tony was great.
I'm Gay Tony.
Yeah, and then they brought him back. They
Yes,
brought
they did.
Gay Tony back. This is how Rockstar knew everyone that played GTA 4 loved Gay Tony over Lost in the Damned. Was they brought Gay Tony back, and
Which
he
they've never brought back a character from a past game before.
they did bring back what's his face, the guy that was the main character in Lost in the Damned, and Trevor kills him in the first 20 seconds of Trevor being introduced.
I didn't know
He's
that.
So when Trevor walks out and he starts stomping a mud hole into that one dude,
Yeah.
that's the main character to Lost in the Damned.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because they were like, because everyone says Lost in the Damned was not good, and mostly because the problem I had with it is the main vehicle was a freaking motorcycle, and sure, motorcycles are great in GTA.
I love motorcycles.
But when it's the only vehicle that you're like you're supposed to be riding, you can like, and especially in New York City where there's a lot of sharp turns,
Yeah.
you crash and you fall off like half the damn time, and it's just so, I don't know. That was part of the issue I had, and it was just like the story wasn't amazing. Like Gay Tony definitely seemed like a little more brought together.
Yeah. Thanks for turning it off.
Yeah. Gay Tony definitely seemed like a little bit better, and then they brought him back to be like a major role in the new GTA.
Nightclub,
In the new nightclub DLC, which is awesome. Like I like how they brought back a new like an old character,
Yeah.
and it was just interesting that they brought back both the Liberty City DLC characters, which is, but yeah, I think my least favorite has gotta be that Lost in the Dam DLC. You might be seeing a theme, like most of my DLCs are single player stuff, but anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My least favorite DLC. I'm probably gonna say Destiny 2's Curse of Osiris DLC.
That's the second one.
First one.
That's the first one. Okay.
And for the people that have played it, you will completely understand why that is the worst DLC Bungie has ever created. It's just
even going back all the Halo DLC. Well, then again,
no,
I don't remember a bad Halo
Destiny.
DLC.
I mean like
Yeah, okay.
Destiny era.
Okay.
But it's just it was such a short story. So was Warmind, but Curse of Osiris was short and bad. Like
short and bad.
Warmind was short and decent, but like Curse of Osiris, that DLC probably took me an hour and a half to beat, and there was just I didn't feel accomplished when I beat it. And when you finish a DLC and you don't even know that you finished it, that tells you
that's how I
not
feel
a
when I
good
play
DLC.
Destiny in general.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just joking.
But like
Destiny 2 had kind of an ending more than Destiny 1 did. Destiny 1 felt like
I don't even think Destiny 1 really had an end.
No, it ends with the Spectre ghost thing coming up to you and saying like you can have that gun now, and then she disappears. And that's the ending.
Yeah, that scout rifle. Was that a scout or was it a pulse?
I don't know.
But okay, yeah.
But that was it. That was pretty much the end.
But yeah, Curse of Osiris just wasn't a good ending, and the people I even play with today that love how there's not new because they had it in D1, but when you make a fresh character, you can just jump it to where you're at the Forsaken DLC. They didn't used to have that, and so people would actually have to play through the campaign, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind, and the Curse of Osiris people would be great. Now I have to play through that. No one liked it, and Bungie knows that.
Well, obviously they do because
like
they made this thing happen. They made it so you can skip it.
Yeah. Well, they did that in D1 too, though. So
Destiny 1,
yeah,
not day 1. I'm just saying, like, because usually day 1. Anyway.
but yeah, Curse of Osiris is definitely probably my least favorite DLC.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about DLC about? This is your topic. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to talk about. We got enough time to do whatever we want to do.
What was the last DLC that you have played? Mine's Forsaken.
Okay.
But
I think the last.
Or I guess the last DLC that you've enjoyed, that you want more of.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the games I play. I play a lot of single player games. So when it comes to like, the last DLC I bought was the World War II. It was Call of Duty World War II DLC, and that was the first one that was released. It's not bad.
And you want more of that.
'Cause
I know you're not really a big Call of Duty person.
Yeah, just more of because Call of Duty is kind of straight away, and they're going more towards the. They're probably going to be all multiplayer soon, which is what they're doing in this next one. So it's like,
Black Ops 4.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of that point of. I would like to see more stuff come from it. It's kind of like GTA. Like
Yeah.
I would love to see. That would probably be my game of like I want to see more of. I want
Okay.
to see more of GTA 5. But
Okay.
with Red Dead Redemption coming out, I think we're gonna get that stuff in Red Dead. Like I think we're gonna we give up on GTA, and that's what Rockstar said. There was a quote that was from I think either Take Two or from Rockstar CEO, and he said the only way that GTA 5 is gonna go out is if we kill it.
I
Like
agree with
that's
that.
the only way that if Rockstar comes out and says we're done with GTA, keep playing it if you want. I think people would still play it, and the only way that they can do it is if they just went and shut the servers down.
I agree with that.
That's the
Yeah.
only way that they can do it. They'd probably get a lot
It
of
would be
backlash.
dumb if they did that.
Yeah.
Because they'd lose a lot of money.
But yeah, it's because it's a guaranteed cash right now.
Yeah.
Because GTA is still one of the most popular games to play online, and on anything.
Well, it's because I swear they add new things in GTA 5 Online every other week.
It's every month that you get an email.
Yeah, they
And
add
you
new
get
things
you get Rockstar
constantly in
propaganda.
that game.
But
So
I
it's
think
always new.
I think what they're probably gonna do is, this is my theory, is that they'll probably keep supporting GTA and support the online aspect of it
Yeah.
and do the craziness and whatnot. But I think Red Dead will have the online, but they're not gonna like focus on it. It will be more of towards the. We're going to add more story elements to it. We're going to give you DLC elements that are story. I feel like that's what they're probably going to do, because that's what they kind of did with Red Dead Redemption. Was it had online. A lot of people loved it.
Yeah. I liked it.
But it's not. That wasn't their focus. Their focus was the story, and that's why Undead Nightmare came, and we got more story.
So are you
and-
saying your theory is more of, if you want a campaign, go to Red Dead, and if you want multiplayer, go to GTA? Is that
I feel like that is what Rockstar's probably going to do.
Okay.
Because
I can see that.
it's just they keep supporting GTA 5, and why not? You know, people
Yeah.
buy shark cards all the time.
It's probably one of the only games that actually has free DLCs.
Yeah,
that are
and
actually...
that's I think part of the reason why. Well, Rockstar really doesn't need to put out paid DLC.
No, they don't. They really
could
don't.
easily do
Yeah,
it.
they would.
But I think they're taking this approach of like, we have fans. They are going to buy the game anyway. We've already made our money back. Why should we charge them to play the game? Because a lot of people, I remember when GTA Online was still in the works, because it didn't come out on the launch.
Yeah.
It was that thought of like, oh, are we going to have to pay for like Rockstar's thing now? Like, are they going to charge us? Like, I remember that was a conversation of like, is Rockstar going to charge us money, as well as do we have to pay Xbox Live and this Rockstar membership to play GTA Online? Like, that's what a lot of people thought too.
Mhm.
And then Rockstar was like, nope, we're going to have free DLC. And I think originally a lot of people were thinking like, oh, it's going to be free for a while because it was late.
Yeah.
But then they just kept it. They just kept doing it for free. And, you know, sure, there are elements. You got to buy the shark cards if you want to, but you can earn
yeah,
a lot of that.
You really don't need to do it.
Yeah, I've never bought a shark card, and I
can't
have.
say that.
Yeah, but I've never bought a shark card. I've done mainly just the story missions, and
Oh, we do. We used to stream heists. We used to do
yeah,
that
but I
pretty
never
often.
bought anything because
Yeah.
everyone kept telling me don't buy anything. We'll just drive you there. I was like, all right, cool. So I freeloaded off everybody, and like so that was kind of my thing. But yeah, I think the game I want to see more of is GTA 5, of its story. I'm fine with the DLCs and of the free updates and whatnot, but I don't mind tossing $20 to see more of the three characters that we had. I think
Okay.
it's never gonna happen though, but I think Red Dead Redemption is probably gonna bring it, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited about it. Anyway,
Okay.
so other than Destiny, what is a game that you wanted to see more of? Even if it was a game that didn't have DLC.
Ooh.
Or maybe had DLC and you wanted more of. Like, was
See,
there something?
I know this isn't gonna happen, but it's not really DLC.
It doesn't matter if it's not going to happen.
But I'd probably say because they kind of. I don't know.
Just say what you're thinking.
Well, it's because it's not a DLC. It was just campaign.
It doesn't matter. So was mine.
Oh, well, I was gonna say Gears of War 3.
Okay. They did
For-
come out with DLC for it.
Well,
like maps and whatnot.
yeah,
They didn't ever
I
come out with
mean,
like story.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you want to see of like specifically with Gears of War 3?
Well, it's because like what Gears of War 4 did was that they went like years down the future, but I mean like right after campaign. So
You want something in between
like a
3
longer
and 4.
story. Yeah.
You want like a 3.5.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Like cuz
With following Marcus or like
well, Dom's dead, so
Yeah.
yeah. Because like Gears of War
I didn't know
3,
if you wanted like maybe like something else happen.
Oh, yeah. Cuz Gears of War 3, that's probably my favorite campaign of all games.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion. That's just
that's
my
fine.
favorite.
I'm a
campaign.
Gears 2 guy, so Gears 1 is also has something, but I feel like that's more of a nostalgia of why I like Gears 1 because I've tried to replay Gears 1. It's really good,
Yeah.
but I've played it so many times that I feel numb to it now. So, but Gears of War 2 is probably my favorite. But you like Gears 3? That's
Well,
interesting.
because Gears 3, I was more emotional to.
Because you were
because
Dom.
I was Dom.
Yeah,
you
were my Dom.
Yeah,
and I was Marcus.
Ryan and I would always play Gears of War, and I was always Dom.
Mhm.
And so when he died, it hit me. I was so sad. I was like, no, that was my guy.
Did you get Zombie Dom in Gears 4? Oh, no. Okay.
I think you had to pre-order.
That's right. You had
I
to
got
pre-order
the
the
edition, but
Yeah.
you had to pre-order it though.
That was so
and
dumb.
I didn't
It's
get
weird.
it.
I wonder if you can buy it now. Now that it's been out for
I
such
haven't
a long
played
time.
it for a while. I
haven't either.
I think I have Zombie People, but I don't have Zombie Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me sad. Zomdom.
All right. You want to call it on the DLC topic?
Yeah, I think we're.
All right.
We're
Well,
good.
ladies and gentlemen, leave in the comment section below what is your favorite DLC of all time, or what is a game that you want more DLC of, or didn't get DLC and you want that. So, favorite DLCs in the comment section below. We're moving on to our third and final topic, which is future of games. So this topic we've talked about on previous Bitcade episodes, like what consoles we want to see, and like in the next Xbox and the next PlayStation, and the and obviously the current Nintendo console.
Yeah.
But what I found out about, and I never realized, was when I was listening to, I think it was Kind of Funny's podcast, but Jared Petty mentioned that, I think it was him, that we're still living in like the first, we haven't even hit a century of video games.
We're like just 52 years.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder how you got that information. But the thing I wanted to talk about, because yes, it has been 52 years, and we did the math. We're looking here on Wikipedia, and it says like the first gaming sort of thing started in the
1967.
it says like 1950s to late 1960s, like, and I don't know. What I'm going to go off of is when we specified when the first generation of video games started, because right now we're I believe in the 8th generation of games. That's the Xbox One, the PS4, and the Nintendo Wii U are the 8th generation.
Well,
Nintendo is in the 9th generation already.
Oh.
Yeah, because the Wii U came out as the next generation of the Wii, which the Wii was with 360 and
there's
PS3.
the Xbox One X though.
That's still Xbox One. That doesn't count. It has to be a new console to be called its own thing, because the Wii U was a new console. That was not the Wii. You had to buy a whole new piece of hardware to get it. Anyway, so in 1972 is when they're classifying when the first generation, here on Wikipedia, when the first generation of video games are, which is crazy to think about, that we're still only 52 years into video games. So I wanted to talk about, what do we think the next 52 years is going to look like? We're already in 4K and have VR systems. Like over there in the corner, we have a PSVR. So it's like, this is crazy.
Well, when
the people that created the first video game are still alive. You know, that's so crazy as of 2018. But like, it's so crazy to think about that. Like, you can't think about that with any other medium. You can't
No.
think about the same guy who made movies for the first time, the guy who painted a painting for the first time, the guy who wrote the first sonnet. Like, no one has the first thing anymore, but video games has the first, like, its thing of its media, of its medium, of its cultural phenomenon, which is so crazy to think about. And so I guess, I don't know, I'll let you talk a little bit too. What is, when you think about that first? Let's focus on this. Let's break this down. How do you feel about you're still in the first 52 years and you've played video games actually before that? You played video games in the first 50 years of video games.
Well, when you first came to me about this topic, I immediately thought of Ready Player One.
Oh, okay.
Like, just how,
Which we both saw together.
yeah,
Great
just
movie.
of how virtual reality was so advanced that it just that's what life was for those people, was just video games.
Yeah, people would go to jobs in their VR systems. They would they would work at plants to, like, make the VR system. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. So do you think that that's, like, the next step?
I feel, well, definitely not the next step, probably a few miles down the road.
Oh.
But I feel like it's definitely possible that 150 years down the road that could definitely be a thing.
But see, here's the thing, is, like, if VR is now, and it's still kind of in its infant stage. It's kind of a little bit more mainstream now that, like, Facebook owns Oculus and PlayStation's put out their VR system. But do you really think in 150 years that video games would be there? Because, like, think about it.
probably
In only like 10 years, we got VR systems.
Yeah, but you got to think all the stuff that they had, though. They had, like, these full body suits that they could feel pain.
So you feel like that's the future of, like, you're gonna be in the video game.
I think so.
Okay,
I think it could be.
and that's 50 years from now. Do you think that, or do you think a little
Anywhere
bit
from 50 to 100, anywhere between there. Definitely not within the next 20 years.
Because think about it, this is your children playing video games. That's what that is. The next 50 years would be your children playing video games. So it's kind of a weird. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a weird scenario of, like, where do you feel that? So let me break it down.
I'll be a 66-year-old man playing video games.
Yeah.
Catch me doing it.
I'm just gonna read the Wikipedia thing of when they feel like generations are a thing. So they classify the first generation from 1972 to 1980. Second generation is 1976 to 1992. Third generation is 83 to 03. Fourth generation is 87 to 04. Because I feel like the 03 thing is and the reason why 83 happened is because I think Nintendo also screwed that one up too. Because Nintendo seems to, like, throw loops and make the generations weird. But I can go more in depth. I can if you want me to. But fifth generation is 93 to 05. Sixth generation is 98 to 2013. Seventh generation is 05 to 2017. And the eighth generation started in 2011 and ongoing because, like I said, the Wii U kicked it off in 2011.
Yeah.
And then in 2015 is when the Xbox One and PS4 started showing up. So, yeah. Yeah, they have the generations all broken down right here.
Oh, I left the Switch at home. Oh, well.
But they have, like, first generation, the Odyssey is considered the first video game console. And then second generation, I'll just read, like, the big names. Second generation contains the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, ColecoVision, and Atari 5200. So some pretty big top dogs in the second generation here. Then they talked about there's some brief
Nintendo 64.
Well, not yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Third generation, we have the Famicom/NES. We also have the Master System, Mark III, and we have the Atari 7800. And then if we go down to the fourth generation, we got some. We have the Turbo Graphics. We have Neo Geo. I love some of these old like video
Yeah.
game names. Like Neo Geo sounds awesome. Just the names of some of them are pretty creative. We have the Genesis, we have the Super Famicom and the Super NES, and then we have the Sega CD slash Mega CD, and we have the Neo Geo CD. So we started getting into CDs over there. Then handhelds started to dip their toe into that generation with the Game Boy and the Game Gear. Do you remember playing my Game Gear? It was that big, like, Game Boy Advance looking one.
I remember your Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
But
You did have one of those, too. The fifth generation. This is
PS1.
Yep, this is where we got the PlayStation. We got the Sega Saturn. We also got the Nintendo 64. And we got the Apple Pippin.
Woo!
Yeah, rest in peace. 42,000 units, which is more than I thought even that was going to happen. There's also the Atari Jaguar. There's a lot of, by the way, go check out this Wikipedia page. It looks pretty in depth of like, they have when it was released in Japan, when it was released in North America, how many units were sold, when it was released in Europe, like all these different things. So it's pretty cool. We also got in the handheld, we got the Virtual Boy, which was VR back then. And it's like this like laser red. It like made people get headaches because it was all you were looking at was red on black, and it would just give you.
Makes sense.
Um,
I'd give headaches.
And then there was the Game Boy Pocket, and then there was the Game
That
Boy.
was the little rectangle one, the Game Boy Pocket, right?
No, I don't think that one.
What was
came
what was
yet.
the square?
Maybe that one was. Maybe that one was it. Then there was the Game Boy Color. Then the Game Boy Light. And the let's see here, Neo Geo Pocket, which I never even heard that, and Wonder Swan, what? And the Wonder Swan Color, and then we jumped into the sixth generation, which was the Dreamcast, the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox, which is the start of when we are getting into this whole modern like consoles as we know it kind of thing. Sega lasted in there with that Dreamcast for a little while, and then it just kind of didn't work out. But we also got the Game Boy Advance, which was I had a Game Boy Advance, and the N-Gage. Oh boy, seventh generation was the one that you jumped into, which was the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo
Well, my
Wii.
first console was your PS2.
Oh, that's right, that's right. So you jumped in during the sixth generation. I jumped in sixth generation as well. Actually, no. We skipped the Nintendo 64, didn't we? Yeah, right here. It's in the Nintendo 64 is in the fifth generation. Maybe I did read it off. Yeah, because I went PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and Apple Pippin.
And I did play your Color a lot, so
that's true.
I did jump in pretty early.
True. I would say I jumped in fifth generation, and then you kind of followed that. But then after, so during that seventh generation, we also got the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation Portable, aka the PSP.
Wait, you skipped one?
Did I?
Yeah, you didn't say that one.
Yeah, I did. 360, PS3, and Wii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the seventh generation. And then we jumped into the eighth generation, which is the Wii U, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Oh, they marked down the Nintendo Switch a part of the seventh generation, which is interesting. Because I would almost classify that as the ninth generation. But then also they're including the Nintendo 3DS and the PlayStation Vita as the handheld consoles of that era.
Really?
But that's pretty much it. So I would say technically we're in the ninth generation, just because of the Switch. But this Wikipedia page is actually classifying it as a part of the eighth. So
generation.
But that's quite a jump. That's 52 years of video games right there, and that's a lot of technological advances right there. Like we went from cartridge to CD-ROMs to Blu-rays and then to digital and like, you know.
Speaking of digital, do you think we will ever have a holographic type game? Like a hologram-y
I
type
think
deal?
52 years from now, yes.
Okay.
I think we would.
All right.
I think we would go to an arcade and that would be there. I don't know if it'll be home console though, because that seems like a lot of hardware. But then again, I didn't think VR was going to be possible when I was playing my PS2. So, hey, you know what? Who knows?
Somebody will do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of weird thinking about we're still living in the like if you look at history, technically, we're still at the beginning. We're still in the beginning. We have not hit video games to be 100 years old.
Yeah, we're
yet.
just barely half a century.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of crazy how there's so much movement and technology is so it's pushing its advancements in gaming. We didn't even talk about PCs, but this is just the video games in your home on the console. I guess we did mention the TurboGrafx or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, you know, people were freaking out about the whole digital thing when Xbox announced that we were gonna do digital stuff. We won't even need a disc drive, and then everyone's like freaked out about it. But now everyone buys their stuff digitally.
Yeah, I
So
like to.
so it's like there's this whole thing that we didn't even think was possible. Like when you were playing online with your PlayStation 2, which I never did, but when you were playing online with your PlayStation 2, you would have never thought that a couple years later we're going to get the Xbox 360 and it would change online gaming, even though Xbox did have Xbox Live. But
Yeah.
Xbox 360 changed it and put it into what it is now, into making it like it's a paid service. You can get like you can play games from across the world. Like it definitely made video games what it is, and it's part of the reason with like Halo. Halo definitely changed the whole, because stepping back to the Xbox,
And you definitely meet some interesting people online.
there's definitely interesting
That-
people, yeah.
Just
They're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got those weird people.
Funny
People, but weird people.
So you know they've heard me talk for a little while. So I wanna talk with you. What are some if you were to highlight some of these let's go back in time to when you feel like you haven't. So in the 8th generation, which is our current one, we have the Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, and again for this Wikipedia's sake, Nintendo Switch. Are there any iconic games that you've been playing this generation that are that stand out to you?
Like video games or consoles?
Either or, I guess.
Well, PS2 is like my first.
Are you?
Oh.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go forward in time? Because we can
I'll
go forward
start
in time.
wherever. I didn't know where you wanted me to start.
Let's go forward in time.
Okay.
So we didn't jump in until
That's
this one. This is when I jumped in. So we'll go here first. So the 5th generation, you played it a little bit of the 64, right?
we did the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my my Pikachu edition 64. So you actually got to play GoldenEye for the first time.
Oh
How'd
my
that
gosh.
feel for you?
Well, the table isn't broken, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's definitely it is the game changer though. It is the
Blitz was
first
fun.
NFL Blitz is pretty fun.
Blitz is hella fun.
Yeah, there is a Let's Play, not with him and I, but with Josh and I, and he destroyed me.
On Blitz?
Yeah, he scored 100 and like some odd points, and I
Dang.
scored 60 some odd points.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it goes pretty fast. We also played 6-minute quarters.
Oh.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, NFL Blitz is really good. Pokemon Stadium
Mm-hmm.
was also one I played a lot. Hey You Pikachu, which I might have to go and like look up to try and find again. My dad had a PlayStation, and my dad has not this Sega. He had a PlayStation as well, but I never played it. So
I was gonna say, going back to the NES, Donkey Kong, that game was the shiz.
Oh, because you played the NES Classic.
Yeah.
So you got to play a little bit of that. We actually did a whole Let's
And
Play of the NES
Galaga.
Classic.
Galaga. I love Galaga.
That is definitely a good one. Yeah, if you guys want to see both of us play the NES Classic, that is on the YouTube channel. So. Yeah. Wow, spoilers. Go see what else the games we play though. But you like the NES? You like how it feels?
Yeah, I love the old games.
Because I mean, you practically it's pretty much the NES. You played on the controller. We played it on. The only thing was you didn't play it on CRT TV. So
yeah, play it on a monitor.
yeah. So it's like
I didn't have to hear the brrrr from the TV.
That's true. That's very true. That was the previous generation, or actually that was 2 generations before this. We're skipping around here. But we also had let's see here. Actually, I didn't have any of these ones.
Yeah, I can't talk about any of those.
So the 6th generation. 6th generation was a little light. It had the Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox. I had a PS2. I was a PlayStation kid when it says there were 155 million units sold, and Xbox had 24 million,
Dang, rip Xbox.
and GameCube had 21, almost 22 million, and Dreamcast had 9 million. Rest in peace.
I don't even know what that was.
That's the Sega Dreamcast. That was Sega's last console, I think.
Oh.
We'll find out. But you had a PlayStation 2 as well, because you had my old PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I think you went over to Xbox and I took your PlayStation.
I actually bought a Wii.
Oh.
That was when I was trying to get a whole bunch of money to buy the Nintendo
fun.
Wii.
I loved the Wii.
Wii Sports. But what are some PlayStation 2 games you really liked?
Driver.
Driver's a good one.
Cars. Cars was a good game.
Cars?
Hey,
The Pixar Cars game?
I have a little Cars controller.
You did. You had a Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen Cars controller.
Yeah,
It was
I loved
really
Cars.
plasticky, but it was definitely.
I
liked
loved
it.
Cars.
We still have it. It's over
Yeah.
there in the library.
There was some Mortal Kombat. My dad really liked that one.
Mortal Kombat's great.
There was another horror game that
The
scared me
Suffering.
shitless.
The Suffering. I still
Yeah.
haven't played that game. We
Oh.
might have to do a Let's Play for that.
Oh my god! Well, it's probably not going to be as scary.
I
but
don't know.
That game.
There's some
that
old
game
scary games that still scare
was-
me.
That game was hella scary.
We
Yeah, that's a good idea. We gotta do a Let's Play on that.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's all. I didn't have a GameCube or an Xbox. I always heard about Xbox. Jared had an Xbox.
I know Hayden had a GameCube.
That's weird. We all had 3 different consoles. And then in the handheld market, we had the Game Boy Advance. I guess we skipped the Game Boy Color up there, but anyway. So we'll throw that in this this conversation as well. So you had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy as well.
I don't remember having one for my own. I thought it was yours.
No,
that I
it
would
was
just take
mine.
from you.
My dad had a Game Boy as well, and he didn't use it anymore because he eventually got a Game Boy Advance SP.
That's right. I remember.
And so I had 2 Game Boys, and I let him have one, and I had one because I wanted to play Pokemon with somebody. And you never really got into Pokemon because you were still too young
no,
to
I was
understand what was happening.
I was
so.
always playing that SpongeBob game.
Yes, that SpongeBob game was pretty fun. It was really hard though.
It was really hard, but it was really fun.
I had the Game Boy Advance, and I mean it's pretty much just a Game Boy.
Yeah.
81 million units, almost
God.
82 million units of the Game Boy Advance, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. That's a lot of Game Boys. And then we jump into the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii.
Wee.
I have 2 of the 3 consoles. I owned all 3 of these consoles at some point in time.
You got to get the Wii back.
I have debated about it.
I want
debated
Wii
about it.
Sports.
That one was interesting.
I love
Wii
bowling.
Sports definitely sold the Wii.
It did.
It's very because anyone could play it.
I know I really loved that tank game. Do you remember what it was?
That was on Wii Play.
That was a very fun game.
And that required the nunchuck, which is why it came with another controller and a nunchuck.
Yeah.
But the 360 was your first console, right? That was one you owned.
Yeah, I remember.
No one
playing-
else owned it before you. You owned it, right?
No. Because I remember you always had me trying to play Halo.
Yeah, but the 360, that was your first, it wasn't a second-hand console, right?
Like a hand-me-down?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
360 was officially my first console.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of zombies.
It's crazy. When you look at here, the units sold, Xbox, even though more people talked about the Xbox, more people bought an Xbox or a PlayStation 3.
Oh, geez, by 15 million?
Yeah, it's Xbox 360 sold 84 million, and I'm not going to say the other numbers. It's about almost 85 million.
Oh, I thought that
And PlayStation 3 almost sold 86 million.
Jeez, you can see that.
And the Wii sold 101 million, almost 102 million units,
I can't even see that.
which is crazy. It's very blurry, but I can see it. But yeah, it's kind of insane to think about consoles started getting in the millions the farther we're going into it. But yeah, I Xbox 360 was probably I would say Xbox 360 was the point when I became a gamer.
Yeah, same.
Because I owned the other consoles and I played them. I was a video game player, but I didn't become a gamer until like diving in, watching the Let's Play. Like YouTube also became kind of a big deal in around 2005. Like, yeah, because I think YouTube became a thing in 2005.
Yeah.
But it was also like I didn't get into 360 until I think 2007. But I immediately started loving the fact that I could play with
Other
my
people.
friends. Like you had those conversations at school about, dude, that was so crazy last night at Call of Duty World at War. Like zombies was a really intense thing to always talk about, and there was so much other stuff that you could talk about, and yeah, I loved it. I loved my Xbox 360.
Yeah,
Right.
I still have mine.
Yeah. I don't have my original one. I eventually had to sell my Elite because the tray was starting to act up. So
Yeah.
I went into GameStop.
I don't have my original, but I do still have a 360.
Yeah, I went into GameStop and then traded it in. Just
Wait,
before it
you don't have
almost
that?
broke.
You don't have that Gears of War one?
No. I had an Elite. That was my Xbox.
Oh,
And then
I did have.
then
an
I
Elite.
traded it in for a PS3 and got the blue PS3. And I played that for a while, and then I was like, "Man, I really want my 360 back."
Oh, that's
and then
when
I
you were
went
playing,
and bought
like, Diablo and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then I went and bought the 360 again, and I had the Gears of War one, which I think is a nice thing to have
I like the
now
sound
in
it
my
makes.
collection. Well, I like to add it into my collection because not only is it the console that got me into video games, but it is the video game that got me into video games. Like Gears of War made me that like, oh man, like video games are more than just playing it and sitting down and playing it for a while.
Yeah.
Like the story is just amazing. So, but let's move on here. The Nintendo DS and the PlayStation Portable. I had both of these
I
as well.
loved the DS.
You had a DS Lite though, right? You didn't have the original DS, the big fat gray thing, the clam. You had a DS Lite. Did yours light up in the back, or did it light in the front? What did your DS look like, Jamison?
It was like the rectangle.
Okay, so you had a DS Lite because it's pretty obvious when you have an original DS because it's like this big fat thing. It's like it looks like it's from the early 2000s.
Oh, wait, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah,
I had
a
one
DS
of those.
Lite. I had a DS Lite.
Yeah, I had one of those and I broke it. I snapped it in half because I played Ghosts and Goblins. If you've ever played that game, you know how rage-inducing it is.
You
But
actually broke it.
I snapped it in half like it was nothing. It was already broken because those hinges were stupidly put on, but you could still play it because it wasn't like broken yet. And then there's like just one little part. As long as you don't break that part, then the DS still works. But I got so mad, I slammed it down onto my bed and it snapped it in
What'd
half.
Mom say when you did that?
I lied about it. And then I eventually had to tell the truth because I said it fell off my bunk bed, and then it almost played out like a like a movie where they're like, "Well, I'm glad you told us the truth." And I was like, "All right." I had to like come clean.
Wait, what did she
I
say?
had a feeling they knew because they were not really that mad about it. They were disappointed that I broke it, but yeah, it was just something. They weren't as mad as I thought they were gonna be. I eventually did get a DS Lite. And
I remember we played Pokemon a lot on it.
Yep. I also had a PSP, which I think that was my main go-to. Like I didn't really play because PSP was like where you could play real games, and then Nintendo DS was like you could play your Nintendo games and whatnot. But yeah, I played a lot of the PSP. Played Madden on the PSP. Played WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 on the PSP, which was awesome. It was just really cool. The PSP was a great console. Sold 82 million units, while the Nintendo DS sold 154 million units. That's including the DS Lite, though. So I call bullshit on that. And then the Wii U, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, which is where our current stuff is. Never owned a Wii U. Oh, we kind of talked about the Wii U a little bit earlier, though.
Yeah.
But I never bought a Wii U. I have a PS4, I have an Xbox One, and I have a Nintendo Switch. You have an Xbox One and a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
How are you liking both of those? How do you feel about this generation compared to the others? What was that?
It stinks over here.
What?
It stinks over here.
Okay. You want to make that known to them?
No.
It's already there now.
What was the question?
what do you feel about this generation compared to the last generation?
Oh, I like it. It's more graphic, I guess.
More graphic.
Like more detailed, more. You can tell that the developers have spent more time in their new generation games rather than the old generation.
Like, do you feel like they? So you feel like they're not pressured into coming out with a game constantly. They can easily just go, hey, you know what? We could take a break. People are gonna buy our game. Or do you feel like? Because like to me, I feel like the reason why it looks better is because these consoles are more powerful, so it allows the developer to kind of go beyond. Because the problem is what PC gamers have with us is PC master race is what they always say, because they can build a way better console.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So it's kind of like now that consoles are starting to compete with the PC a little bit more. Man, I am having a trouble.
I definitely love the new generation consoles compared to the last generation.
Okay. So you like your Xbox One more than your 360?
Yes.
Okay. Is it
more? Yeah.
Now, not thinking about the games, what is it about the one that you like about more than the 360?
It looks better.
Oh, okay. You like the more sleeker, flatter. Well, now I would say black version, but you have a white Xbox One.
Yeah, so. I still have my original Xbox One.
Yeah.
I've never had to replace it.
I never replaced mine. Mine's at my dad's though. I just bought an Xbox One X because I got the Scorpio edition, so
yeah,
I wanted that.
Mine was the Halo Master Chief Collection,
the limited run white edition. And then what about your Nintendo Switch? How you feeling about that? You've had it for a couple months now. You've had it since your birthday.
Mm-hmm. So I've had it for about two months. Two and a half.
How are you feeling? You're a new Switch owner.
I like it.
Yeah. More than the Wii.
It's a pretty fun console.
That stumped you a little bit. You need time to think about that. I had my Switch since pretty close to launch, and I love it. I love playing it but I play it as my portable. I use it as my portable device. I don't use it as a home console. I use my Xbox One or my PS4 as my home console. My Switch is I'm at PAX, I'm at Disneyland, I'm on an airplane. Like, that's my console. That's what I look at it as. What are you struggling over there with?
Just thinking about the Switch and the Wii.
So what is it about the Wii that you like so much?
That it's more active.
Oh, you liked the fact of standing up, huh?
Yeah.
You never owned it, so there was that too. Like, because for me, you did play my Wii.
I played your Wii a lot.
Yeah, but the problem was when I was standing, and anytime I wanted to play the Wii, which is part of the reason why I bought a 360, was like, yeah, but I gotta stand up and play this thing. Like, I can't sit down. I eventually learned how to sit down and play the game.
Yeah, but you also had like a really small room, and it was really hard to do stuff.
That's true. But it's like, it wasn't designed to be in like some person's bedroom. It was designed to be in like a living room.
Yeah.
And I think that was the problem with it.
So like, I feel like a Wii is more of a family console, and a Switch is more of like a personal console.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So that's my opinion on it. They're both good consoles.
Yeah. So what are you thinking about your Switch so far though? How do you look at it as? Because like I was saying, I like to travel with it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I took mine to Disneyland when I got food poisoning.
That's for a different time. But like the Nintendo Switch though, you've been playing. What games do you have for it?
I've been playing a lot of Paladins.
Oh, okay.
Fortnite every here and there. Been playing Mario Kart 8. Bought Minecraft recently.
Yeah, that's true.
That was.
It's crazy how Minecraft and Microsoft and Nintendo like worked with each other on this game so much that like there are settings in the game that you can switch it so that in your brain you can switch it to the same controls as what it would be on the Xbox.
It helps.
The letters won't be the same, but
the
button layout will be the same.
Yeah.
But I've played the Switch so much that I actually can't play Minecraft in Xbox mode. I have to play it in the Switch mode. Because, like, to me, when I'm playing on the Switch, that's what my brain is telling me. I'm on the Switch, so these are the buttons.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's how I look at it now. But it is cool that the setting is there.
Yeah,
it's cool that
I agree.
that exists. So, and then rounding it off is these handhelds with the Nintendo 3DS and the PlayStation Vita, which I have both of those. You have a 3DS as well.
Yes, I do. Once I ended up getting my Switch, it kind of
sits there now.
yeah.
Same with mine. Mine is sitting there, just kind of rotting in its own
I'm
way.
not gonna get rid of it because it was a limited thing. But
Yeah. My Vita, I have my Vita still.
I can't believe you got rid of your white one. I really wish you didn't do that.
Yeah, but then I started thinking about it. Now I'm kind of okay with it because all my consoles are black. So I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, see that would be a thing.
I like how the white, other than the Xbox 360, I think all consoles look better white.
Well, to me, they just stick out. They kind of don't fit on an entertainment system well. Like when you go over there and look at all my game consoles, like the things that stick out are the 360 because it's red and black, and the Nintendo 64 because it's the Pikachu one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is all black. So it's like they all kind of fit together. They all kind of look like they kind of go together.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you get a white console that just sticks there. I'm not saying the white consoles are bad because obviously the 360 was white originally, and like all these other.
Did
consoles
they ever have
a
black Wii?
They did eventually.
I thought
later down the road.
Yeah.
But there is a black Wii, and I think it has internal memory if I remember, or I might be remembering the Wii U. Because there is a black Wii U, because there was a Mario bundle with it.
Yeah, Kent has the black Wii U,
which is pretty cool. I gotta say, the black Wii U, that sleek black, it's pretty cool. But yeah,
I don't think I've actually ever seen a white Wii U. Don't think I
really
have. No.
Yeah, because you only saw Kent, so yeah, they're normally white.
Yeah, I've never seen a white one.
Anything else you want to talk about? Consoles past or future or whatever? We kind of like went all around. I guess it's kind of the history of games is what it should be. But
I don't really know if I have anything else to really say.
Yeah. It's just kind of something to think about, kind of talk with your friends about it too. I think we'll kind of wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you put in the comment section below of this part what maybe you think video games are going to look like in the future, or maybe take what's been your favorite video game console or anything that had to do with video games. Obviously you're watching this podcast, so but if you've made it to the end of part 3 or you've made it to the end of the full version, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be Bitcade, and it is that's it. Jamison, you've made it. You've officially made it through your
Jamal.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Jamal.
you did remember it. You made it through your first episode of Bitcade. How do you feel? Do you like it? You like doing it?
I had to take it in bits.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it. If you guys want to watch more, make sure you definitely hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you definitely tap the bell button and get notifications when videos get uploaded. If you are watching the video version, guess what? There are audio versions of our podcasts over on iTunes and on Podbean for Android listeners. You can watch the full videos if you want to right here on YouTube. And that's going to be it. Just search Primal Target on everything, and we'll probably be there. Links in the description below for all of our social media. My name was Ryan. Joining me was
Jamal.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. With the Casey Neistat wave.